Namaste and welcome back to the series on asanas, pranayama and meditation. Today we're going to continue on our discussion about pranayama and how to enhance the two pranayama practices that I had referred to in my previous videos, the deep yogic breathing and the nadi shodhana or alternate nostril breathing. Pranayama, as we all know, means enhancing or controlling the prana or the life force in us. And this by far, according to our yogic literature, is the most powerful aspect of yoga. Pranayama, prana being the life force in us that keeps all the physiological processes in the body going and doing well. And yama being the enhancement or the control. Now, our breathing cycle can be defined into 4 stages. The inhalation, the pause, the exhalation, and a pause. Now, in Sanskrit or in yoga, the inhalation is puraka. The pause between the inhale and exhale is called antarkumbhaka. Exhalation is rechaka. And the pause between the exhale and inhale is bahir kumbhaka. So most of the pranayama techniques is how to use these different aspects or these 4 different aspects of the breath. Now the other thing that we will also introduce in our pranayama practices is a mental count. So when we inhale, we mentally count. So you could be counting 1001, which normally when you count, by the time you finish a count of 1001, it's 1 second. So you could go as you inhale, 1001, 1002, 1003, whatever you're comfortable with. So how do we enhance these 2 basic pranayama practices that we have so far discussed? The deep yogic breathing, where first half of the inhalation, we fill the lower part of the lungs, where the abdomen rises. The second half of the inhalation, where the chest expands and the upper part of the lungs fill up. How do I introduce these 2 advanced concepts into that simple breathing technique? So, first and foremost, as you're inhaling in the yogic breath, you mentally count upwards as you inhale. So for example, as I'm inhaling, I could be going mentally 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. So by the time I finish my inhalation, where in the first half of the inhalation, my belly expands, second half of the inhalation, my chest expands, I might have mentally counted up to maybe 4 or 5 seconds, each count being probably a second. Then as I pause, now initially the pause might be difficult for a lot of beginners, so you got to be really careful. So maybe the pause could be half a second or 1 second, and then you pause for that time. And then as you exhale, you could again mentally count downwards. So as you exhale, you could be going 1004, 1003, 1002, and 1001. And then initially, you don't, as a beginner, do the pause between the exhale and inhale. So you directly go to the inhale. So inhale up again, then maybe a small pause, and then you mentally count back the exhalation. How do you advance these practices? So what you could do is slowly, when you are sure that your breathing is normal, is rhythmic, and is smooth, there should be no gap in your breath, there should be no erratic breathing, there should be no labored breathing. All these breathing techniques should be just your natural breath. So when you're comfortable with that count and that small kumbhaka, then probably you can introduce the second pause between the exhale and inhale. So how would it look? So you inhale to a mental count, let's say a mental count of 4. Maybe you pause to a count of 1 or 2. Then you exhale, let's say to a count of 4. And then you pause maybe to 1 second or maybe 2 seconds. And the sky is the limit with this practice, where you could slowly increase the length of the inhalation, the length of the pauses. You could even double the length of the exhalation. So if you're inhaling to, let's say, 4, you could slowly lengthen the time of the exhalation, maybe to count of 8. And then slowly you start increasing the pauses in between. So to summarize how to enhance the simple yogic breathing, and this applies also to the Nadi Shodhana or the alternate nostril breathing, there are 2 aspects that we're introducing. One is the pause between the inhale exhale and the exhale inhale, and the second one is the mental count. Initially, to start with, go very slowly. So you're introducing a very small pause between the inhale exhale and no pause between the exhale inhale. Slowly you increase the count of the pause. Maybe you start with an exhalation pause, and then you start lengthening the time of even the inhale, and maybe even lengthening further the length of the exhale. Of course, most important thing to remember is do not overdo it. If at any time there is any discomfort or any discomfort in your breathing, any labored breathing, any erratic breathing, discontinue the practice. Start back slowly. So hopefully, I hope this video will be of good use to you. And if you would like to subscribe to future videos, then please hit the subscribe button at the lower right bottom. But until then, and until I see you again, stay safe. Namaste.